Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Danny Koenig, Director of Regional Recruiting, here with you for today's tip of the day. A little bit more of a what not to do surrounding social media. So, a couple things I want to go over through 3 points here when it comes to social media as a what not to do. First and foremost, and this one should be pretty obvious to almost everybody, do not post or retweet anything offensive, right? And kind of rule of thumb there goes, if you don't want your grandmother to see that and judge you for that, something you should not post. But obviously, keeping in mind too that college coaches may see that. If you don't want to be looked at in poor light by a college coach, do not post something offensive. Do not retweet something offensive, even if it's not necessarily coming through from your mouth. Doesn't necessarily mean that it doesn't reflect you as an individual. And coaches will cross athletes off their list for offensive posts. So point number one, do not post or retweet anything offensive. Point number two, do not keep your account private. I know that can maybe seem a little bit counterintuitive, but private accounts tend to raise flags from college coaches' perspective. Why is this person, keeping their account private? What are they hiding from me in that regard? And can really be a turnoff for college coaches. So keep everything public. You want to kind of broadcast your persona, but you don't want to leave coaches wondering, hey, why is this person keeping their account private? So do not keep your account private. And point number three, do not strictly rely on social media for exposure to college coaches. I think there's a lot of really good things that can come from social media. I think it's a great way for you to broadcast who you are as an individual and some of your character, possibly get some highlights out there, thank programs for offers that may come your way. But at the end of the day, you can't rely on that for exposure. Coaches need a little bit more of a legitimate channel to be able to identify and evaluate you. Obviously, they're going to want coach contact points and all of your highlight tape in one place. And social media, there's just a lot going on there, and it's easy to miss athletes on social media from a college coach's perspective. So, build that NCSA profile. That's a very legitimate way to get in front of some college coaches. It's okay to have social media and kind of broadcast some things out that way. But again, point number three being do not strictly rely on social media for exposure. So, in summary, social media is a very important part of what we do, and it is a very important part of the recruiting process. But you need to be very careful about some of the things that you're putting out there, making sure that you're not on private and hiding things from these coaches, and not strictly relying on that for some exposure. So, as always, tune into ncsasports.org for additional information. And that has been today's tip of the day. We'll see you soon.